Good evening, listeners, and welcome to another Jar of Spanners Info-mercial with me, beloved actor Larry Lovey. Now, one thing you may have noticed nowadays is the proliferation of cooking shows that we have on the television and the radio. You know the kind of thing. Celebrity chefs, TV presenters or comedians taking you through their favourite recipes so you know exactly how clever they are at cooking. Sometimes it may just be a common member of the public who just happens to have a mixing bowl and a cooker. You only have to pop the telly on and there they are, dancing up and down behind the kitchen counter, mixing, chopping and throwing some mush into a frying pan. And then they pop it into the oven, and within seconds there's a delightful meal for everyone in the studio to gobble up, even if it's crap. We've had speed cooking, competitive cooking, children cooking, sexy cooking, and even cooking in the middle of the wilderness totally naked, using insects. We've watched how to cook while you're swearing, how to cook when you're drunk, and even Hell's Angels cooking on their motorbikes. Now, because of all this cooking, we've become familiar with a whole range of exotic ingredients, such as Kenyan kumquats, or Cambodian camel toes, or even Sudanese sugar puffs. Nowadays, we like to use them all, even when they taste horrible. And now, we're all experts in the latest cooking techniques, like nubile cuisine, or flamethrower flambés, and squiddling, which is always unpopular with the ladies. We've become accustomed to some really unusual cooking equipment as well, such as the blood basin, or the guts grinder, or the offal tumbler, all of which are very unpopular with vegetarians. So, from Sri Lankan bin juice bhajis to Grecian frog cheese souffle, from Armenian pigtails to jerk chicken for real jerks, viewers have tried it all, albeit usually only once. But the one thing we don't get any help with is how to actually eat. How to get these ridiculous dishes off the fork, into your mouth, and down the gullet into the stomach. So, we at Jar of Spanners have prepared this simple guide in which we deal with all the important issues, like cutlery and chewing and swallowing and basic tonguing. The fork, for example. These TV chefs just take it for granted that you can use a fork, but it's not that easy. Who hasn't accidentally stuck a fork right into your own cheek or up your nose and take the knife? These chefs just presume viewers can cut their own food, but who among us hasn't sliced off one of their own fingers while cutting into a pie? Or stabbed an artery while cutting up your fish fingers, or worst of all, just cut your own tongue right off. I know I have. And don't get me started on the spoon. A really dangerous weapon in the wrong hands. The domestic teaspoon can gouge, wound, hammer, or in the case of a soup spoon, can get right into the eye socket and flick the eye right out. Let's face it, sometimes you're better off just using a funnel. Eating just isn't that easy. It can be a bloody nightmare. Just watch old people do it. Chewing can be problematic too, especially for those without teeth. Just watch old people do it. And swallowing is hard too. Just watch old people do that. And then there's the constant threat of regurgitation. We all need some help shoveling it in, don't we? So, if you, like me, are having difficulties getting enough food into your gaping mouth, download our latest podcast, Overeating and How to Do It, with me, Larry Lovey, brought to you by Jar of Spanners. You'll love it.